why I put off working on things. Why I put off working on stuff right there. Bilbo's already been in the back end. Now Pippin's in the back end. Oh, who's she barking at? I don't see anybody. And on top, oh, hope that's not the egg lady. There's a lady needing, oh, she says 23 minutes ago she was on her way. There's a lady coming for eggs. No, get down! Dad, oh my. Did y'all enjoy the trip? Oh my gosh. All right. I'm trying to answer this lady. I've wasted time holding y'all up on the phone. They're acting ridiculous. Okay, give me 1 second. Well, I went in and got this one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to redo it somehow. They broke that other one. When they stepped on that board and it flipped it up in the air, when it came down, it broke the snap part of that one, so I can't use it. So I'm going to try this one, and then if it don't work, then I'll just be holding it until I get me another one ordered. All right, so give me 1 second to set it up. All right, I've got it set to, I guess somehow, I don't know. It's sort of flimsy because it's got that kind of leg that you can, I'm gonna try that. It's got the kinds of legs that bounce. So let me get over here and show y'all what I'm doing. The duck house will be built out of these 2x4s right here. I've got more in the shop, in the feed room. There is going to be 4 all the way around. It's 4x4x4x4. It's 4x4. So it'll take 2 2x4s cut directly in half. So it'll be 4 foot tall, 4 foot wide, to build one side. So I'm going to start with 2, get it built, then 2 more, get it built, get 2 more, get it built. I wish they would go away. Maybe when I start cutting with the saw, they'll leave. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm gonna do right now. It was a cold morning. I went with Mom to have her pedicure. And then when I got back, I wore these black little capris. They're sort of like a yoga pant, but they're just capris. And I wore this little red t-shirt, but I had a little jacket on. When I got back, I just took the jacket off. I was messing around the house and it was still sort of cool. And I didn't realize how hot it was. Now that I'm out working and the sun is shining, I'm going to be losing this yellow sweatshirt pretty shortly. But, all right, move, I'm cutting. Move, I'm cutting. Move out of there. Bilbo is just, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a hair long, this one is a full 48. The other one, this is 48. This one is 48 and a quarter. I guess I'll cut that quarter off. Frodo, Don't move. I'll do the other one, then I will show y'all getting it put together. Okay, so you can see over there I've got 2 built already. That's the life right there. Bottles for breakfast, feed for a snack, and lay out in the cool day with the sun beating down on you. A little wagging of a tail. I'm sure that's the swatter fly. It makes her look happy. All right, back to this. I've got 3 sides screwed together. Now, it's looking like it could have been a little bigger. Maybe I should have made it a little bigger. Maybe I should have. I can unhook. No, that's already 3 sides. Shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I started to say I can unhook one side and build the long sides 6 instead of 4. So it'd be a 4 by 6, make it a little bit longer. But at the same time, I don't think I have any more 2 by 4s. I can use those other ones for supports and stuff. I decided to take, look at, crawl underneath my truck. I just had to spank Bilbo. Well, I didn't spank him, but I chased him off with that stick because he was ramming the side of my truck over there with his head. Anyway, I'm thinking I will go and see. I do not believe I could use, I can use 2 of those for the legs. If I take one of those sides off, I can use 2 for the legs. That won't be a complete waste. Because no matter what, it'll be 4 by. It's only gonna be 4. Oh, no, man. Dadgum, I've already. Jesus, help me. Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands. I can't do this on my own. I don't want to have any screws out here because I mow and I come in my golf cart. I come in my truck. That's it. Okay, so anyway, I'm rethinking because I'm starting to think that looks little to me. So I'm thinking I'll take what will end up being the 6 will be the back and the front. And these will stay the 2 sides. So I'll take it apart. And it's only 4 screws. I'll unscrew it. And then I will make 2 6 by 6 top and bottom. And then those sides will go on the sides. Hopefully I'll have enough for that. And if I don't, I think I've got, I've got those scrap boards up there from that little over thing from that deck that I burned up where the fairy garden's gonna go. I've got some scrap 2x4s. They're treated. They've been painted that tan color, but they're still treated. So I can use those, but they're laying in that dadgum mud because I never moved them and they laid there all winter. Anyway, I've got to get this done. I'm starting to get tired and I'm scared. You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. My back scares me now. Like, am I going to work out here all day on this duck house and then tomorrow I can't do nothing? And I hate being like that. So I'm going to try not to do maybe if I could just get the 4 sides connected, the size I need and all connected. And then tomorrow I'll rest my back the rest of the day, and tomorrow I will wrap it in the wire and build the door, because there has to be a door in it. So I think I'm going to do that. We'll see if I can't do that, make the sides longer. All right, see you in a minute. Much better. I went and got 2 of those treated boards that were laying out there from the, now there's some screws. There were no screws in that one. I'm only using them on the bottom because I only had 2 good brand new 2x4s left, and you can't see the bottom, and there's going to be eventually, the new ones will be muddy and dirty. So this way, when you first look at it, until it fades, or if I decide to paint it, I don't know if I'm going to paint it or not, but regardless of what I do, it'll all fade together, except for them 2 that are on bottom. They won't fade because they've been painted already. They're already a tan color. So anyway, it looks way better because now those boards are 80 inches long. They weren't a full 8, and they weren't, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, I think I can do more than 6. Yeah, 6. So 80 inches is not quite 7, but it's more than 6. So it's in between 6 and 7 foot. So that's pretty good and wide, and that'll give 4, 5, 6, 7. It'll be 7 ducks in there, only at night. And now, granted, they will be in there. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm thinking, shoot, maybe it should have been bigger. I'm not making it bigger. I'm not. They're only going to use it at night, but for the first 3 days, solid 24 hours a day, they will be in it, and that will be harder than what I want to put them through, but it'll get them used to this is their house. So when they're let out that first day, instead of walking up and down the fence line over there trying to get back in with the chickens, they will know this is where they're at now. They'll go from the pond to their house. And so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, metal, I already have the metal, and it's already cut to the 4 foot that is, you know, this way. The roof will be going on like this, going downward, downward, downward. So I only bought enough metal for a 4 foot one, so that means I'm probably going to have to go back and get 1 more sheet of metal, and then I cut it in half. And I'm not, but since it is treated, I'm not really worried about a lot of overhang like I do on for the goats and stuff. They're ducks. They can get a little wet if it rains, but they will be completely covered. But just some of the frame may be getting weather, but it is treated, so it won't hurt it that bad. So anyway, I am gonna finish this other side and get it screwed in, and then I will come back with the doors, and I don't know for sure if I'll work on the doors today, but it's looking good. All right, see y'all later. Okay, I got it done. It's a perfect square, right? Well, not a square, rectangle right now, but it's solid. Now, I don't know if the camera you can tell that it looks like it's leaning. It does look like it's leaning right here. That's not because I did any cuts that were off. It's because the ground slopes at this corner. So probably when I get ready to actually set it in place permanently, I'm going to pull it this direction toward the fence a little bit and get it out of that slope. Because I want it to be where I can see, just like I like to be able to see the chickens and the goats. I want to be able to see what's going on out here in the evening. Okay, here is the door that was on the old goat house up there that Minky's in now. but it was doing no purpose because I've already opened 2 sides of that up, so she has full, she can go through from one side to the other. So the door was just there as basically a partial wall. And if I feel like I need to fill it back in, then I'll just cut a piece of T111. And this is T111. Somebody asked me today, what was T111? It is siding. It comes in 4x8 sheets. This is what it is, like on the goat house. It comes in 4x8, and it's just, you know, it's not real thick. It's about maybe a 1/4 inch thick, 1/2 inch. It's not even a half. And it's got a little bit of a groove cut in it. Now, T111 comes with a deep groove and a thick, like 3/4 inch thick, and a wider space between, like this is like a little 4-inch space. The T111 on this goat house right here is the same stuff that's made out of. It's a wide, it's about a 4-inch wide gap, but this little space is very, very narrow. It's not deep at all. There's also a T111, and I'm going to tell y'all something. Depending on where you go, they may call this something different. At McCoy's, this right here is called rough sawn plywood with a 4-inch groove. 4-inch on center. That's what it's called. It's rough sawn plywood, 4-inch on center. This is a different type. This building is it is not full on this. I don't have any samples of T111 with the wide, looks like a wide plank and a deep groove. This is something different. This is like some type of a hardy plank. It's like OSB on one side, but it's got this wood look on the other. But that is what T111 looks like, but it's solid it's a plywood material. It's got several layers, and the top layer has a wide groove, looks like a wide board, and I think it's more like it's like 8 inches and a groove, and 8 inches in a groove, I believe. Anyway, but when I say T111, I'm usually referring to this, even though, like I said, depending on where you get it at, it may be called something different. And at McCoy's, this is called rough sawn plywood, 4-inch on center. That's how I would look this up if I wanted to buy some sheets at McCoy's. So anyway, this door was way longer. Now I'm going to show you the piece I cut off. I cut this piece off. It was what it made it, it was a long door like this, tall door. I cut it off and took this bottom piece off that has the hinge on it and reattached it down here. This is 50 inches. I'm not for sure. I may have to redo this in a second because it's 48 inches on between the top plate and the bottom plate on the little duck house. It's 48 inches between. If I can get this to hinge and it close against the top and plate and the bottom plate, it would protect better from something trying to get in. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make stops, like some little 1x2 stops inside, so the door can't be pushed in. Okay, so this is what I was meaning. This is my top plate. That's my bottom. And I was hoping that it's very hard to do this with this stand. I told y'all the goats knocked my stand over the other day and broke it. So I'm using this other stand. And I need to stop it. Okay, so if I'm gonna have it close against the top plate like that and it's protected, dadgummit, I pulled that out. Like this, then you can see the hinge doesn't have anything to hinge to. So I'm going to have to cut it down to 48 so it will hinge, oh my gosh, on this 2x4 right here. So now I'm wondering if maybe this needs to be my back, because I need a full 2x4 that's not messed up. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to turn this in a minute. So this is my front where the gate will hinge, because that 2x4 has a rough edge. It's not square, and I'm not going to have a whole lot of meat. You know, that's quite a bit of meat missing right there. Board missing. Okay, but this is what it's going to do. This will be the gate. It'll be in this corner, and the rest of this will be, once I get this gate put in, then I will put another 2x4 down from the bottom to the top, get it screwed in. Stop. And then that will be my gate area right there. And then all the way around will be wire. And I'm thinking about it, run a piece of metal tin around the bottom perimeter all the way around. It'll be about this height. The only thing I think about doing when I think that, I think, what if it gets really hot in there because there's not enough wind down low? So I'm not for sure about that yet, but it's a possibility I'll do that. And I'm gonna have to buy more metal, because that metal was already cut to 48 inches, because my original plan was for it to not be a full 48. It was supposed to be smaller than that, so I would have overhang. But when I actually built the frame, this is 48 from there to there. But then you have to add 3.5 inches and 3.5 inches. So I'm gonna have to get some more metal and cut it to go on top. But I'm going to get the entire sides done today. All right, I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, got the door on. So I didn't flip it. So that thing is so heavy. I've got it on perfectly level ground right now. And I thought if I start twisting it, it's already heavy, and I'm going to get it off level so it's perfectly level right where it's at. So I just flipped the hinges to this other side. And I cut it at 47.5. So what I did was I took this brace off right here, this top one. And then I measured from the bottom up and found 47.5 and cut these two boards. And then I put this back on, put the hinges on this side, and at 47.5, that allowed me to, I use this little piece of stuff right here to sit down here on the bottom to lift it just a little bit. So there'll be enough of a gap up here and at the bottom that the gate swings without dragging. So there is the gate. That will be the duck house gate. Now I am going to, I've got two 2x4s leaned up right here. They're from the old gazebo thing that's been laying off to the side that we tore down. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna put one against this back wall down here low, about right across there, just to give some support on that long wall. If I feel like later I need some around the middle of these two walls, I will do it. So one of those will be used for that back wall, and I'm going to cut one to go down here in between these two, this top and this bottom, and it will be what the hinge, not the hinge, but the little latch and stuff will be hooked to for the gate to close. And then that'll also allow me something to start the wire to go all the way around it with. All right, I'm going to do that now. See y'all in a minute. Can I call this finished even without the top? Because I'm calling it finished. I haven't bought the metal yet. I already explained how the metal I had will not cover the top. So I've got the door on. I've got it wrapped in wire. If I decide later to put metal around the bottoms, I will. But right now it's done. Wire's up. This is all of the roll that was left, this little stuff right here. So I just wrapped it. And that's how I was keeping it tight. Like when I started here, stapling, I stapled about middle ways at the top. Then I come back and started coming down the side, pulling it tight. But after I got it to here stapled, then I just unrolled it. It's so rolled up, so packed. I mean, it's so tight that once I got it around this corner, the corner held it up, you know, upright. So then it was easy to come along the top, pull taut, and put a staple. And then I sat down and went down the bottom, down the side here. Then I kept pulling it, unrolling it and pulling it till I got to this corner, and then roll it up into here so I could pull all that. Now it looks like I need a staple right here. But pull all this tight, pull it tight to this rail here. You can, I don't know if y'all can see in the camera, it's a little baggy at the bottom because I ran out of staples. I will get me another, no, I didn't run out. I just ran out here. I still have staples in the barn. But I got to thinking, why sit down there and put more staples all the way around the bottom if I'm going to wrap the bottom in some type of a metal anyway? So regardless of the bottom, whether I sit and put more staples or don't, it was able to stretch because and this is a bigger hole than what I thought I was ordering. And this will teach me never to order chicken wire from Amazon, because you just don't get the quality that you would get. Okay, this is 2 pieces of metal right here. It's really, really old stuff, like what metal used to be. It weighs a ton. Even those little short pieces that are 36 inches long, they weigh like one 36-inch piece weighs what this mess does today. This stuff, it takes about 4 of those to weigh what one of those weighs. It is really, really heavy duty metal. But I didn't have anything long enough there. I did have a 2x4 in the shop, a cut up piece. Well, a piece of it was used, so I cut the end off. It's not treated. But once I get the roof on, yes, it'll get some weather every now and then. But once the roof is on, it won't get direct weather. And it'll keep it from ruining, or at least not ruining fast. So anyway, I'm done here. What I will do for the roof is I will buy, I get 5 foot, no, 5 foot is, yeah, that's 60 inches, right? So 60 inches will work. So if I get 2 10-foot sheets of this metal right here, then I can cut it in half. And that will give me 4 sheets of metal to go over the top. I think 4 is all I need. I'll measure in a second. But what I'll do is I'll put a 2x4 here, the same, you know, length as this one. I might let it stick out just a little bit more. And back there, you know what, I won't even do a 2x4. I'll put a 1x4 right here, screwed down right here, and then there won't be anything back there. And so it'll have just enough of a slope. I don't know how to show you, but it'll be like just enough of a slope that it'll be, you know, 3/4 here going to nothing back there. And that'll give a slope for the water. The only thing that might have to be a 2x4 is if I have any slope out here and my levels on the golf cart. But if this slopes, if the ground is making this slope this way, then I'll have to have a higher board up here to bring that, you know, to make it go back that direction when water hits it. Because I'm not going to lift it up with blocks. I don't want any room underneath for something to dig under. If they see a space, that's where they'll dig. So I didn't have any more metal that would do this side over here. I pulled it back tight again because Bilbo had shoved against it. And I got to thinking, I really like it open from my porch. I can see in if something's, I don't anticipate something going in there with them because it's going to be pretty, you know, animal proof, predator proof. But I could come across and put a corral board, you know, these corral boards like this, put one even with this one, but starting at the bottom so it comes up this way, so it comes a little higher, then one in the middle and one at the bottom, and that will keep them from pushing against the wire. But it will, or maybe even just a treated 1x4 at the bottom, so it's not quite as high and I can still see in good. But that'll give me line of sight from my back porch. I think it'll be fine. And these, like I said, these were already cut because originally this wasn't supposed to be this wide. And so I had pre-cut. I used one for something. I don't know what I used it for because there should have been 4 pieces. So I don't know what I used the other one for. No. Yeah, there's still one left. It's in the barn. I had 3. So there's a 4th because this was the same thing. This was 2 8-foot ones cut in half. And so there should have been 4 of these short little pieces, but I don't know what I used that 4th one for. So I've got 3. One still in the shop, in the feed room. And I'll just paint it. I'll paint all this metal. I'll paint it the barn red. And I'll paint the little door red. And then the rest of it will just weather. You know, weather. And you know what? If I have to, I may paint it because I was just thinking this is going to, since the metals don't come down and touch each other, I might just need to paint these whole columns red. The 4 corners. And then the metal. And then it'll all blend. And then the door. But you know what? I am burnt out today. So if this stays like this for a while, I don't really care. I'm exhausted. Just need to get the roof on. And I may go to McCoy's in the morning and get the 2 sheets of metal. I'm trying to think. I do need to get some stuff for the garden. I need to get a couple of bags of potting soil and stuff so I can get my garden tilled up, mixed up, get some new stuff in. And then get ready to put plants in the ground. But putting the roof on will be able to allow me to get them ducks out here and get them out of my yard. So, all right, I'm done. I love you guys. God bless y'all. See you later.